York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? This is Jay Ellis from the Knick of Time Show, here giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And the Knicks beat the Lakers on the road 114-109. I guess that means we're the in-season champs now because we beat the in-season champs. So like transfers, that's how it works, right, Ryan? That's right, but we beat the Lakers. It was an amazing game. It was really fun to watch. We had contributions from a few different places. Hartenstein, 9 points, career high 17 rebounds, really stepped up. They played major minutes and played with the heart of a lion and shot with heart for Hartenstein. Emmanuel Quickley came off the bench and was a flamethrower, gave you 20 points and 3 rebounds. So shout out to Emmanuel Quickley. Jalen Brunson just does Jalen Brunson things. It doesn't matter who's guarding you, he's going for you. 29 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds on the night. Julius Randle gives you 27 points, 14 rebounds, and shoots 54% from the field and plays 40 plus minutes on the night. And the Knicks, they end this West Coast trip, man, in a great fashion. We escaped. We escaped with a split. 2 wins, 2 losses. It was looking very bleak when we lost that game to the Utah Jazz, but this team really brought it together, and it kind of shows the toughness of this team, the grit of this team. And man, Tom Thibodeau teams, man, this Knick team, people got to give this team, this coach, this organization some credit. Even with the roster flaws and even with the imbalances, this is the type of team who's going to fight every night. And they fought that night, and they scrapped out a rim when I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I had the Lakers as a maybe. I wasn't so sure. I had the Lakers as a maybe win, but we gutted out that win. And I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it, the good, the bad, and a lot of the good too. So let's get to it. But I'm going to introduce you to my guy, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Ryan G's in the building. Big win by the Knicks. Messed up the Lakers in-season tournament banner raise.
Yeah. Yeah, they messed up all your little banner ceremony stuff. We don't need any of that. We don't need none of that. Rain on all that parade. Great win. Man, I'm going to start with something. I need to get this off my chest, Ryan. I usually kick it to you. But there was a lot of good performances. I was really impressed with Julius Randle. The most impressed I've been in years for a few reasons. One is I've always looked at him and felt like, man, he's a bohemian. He's a big dude. But sometimes I wish that he used his skill to dominate other bigger dudes. I always felt like he has this physical, he's a physical specimen, and he easily overpowers guys who are smaller than him. But then when he plays the guys who are taller than him, longer than him, a la, Bam, even sometimes Anthony Davis. Sometimes I feel like he didn't necessarily always have the skill or to overpower them and assert his will on games versus other big players. And yesterday showed me something. Yesterday showed me that, hey, I'm bringing it to your chest. I don't care if you're bigger than me, longer than me, Paul. I'm still going to do what I want. And it looks like he got better to me, man. It looks like Julius Randle has gotten better from last year. He's coming to the year talking about he wants to be a more efficient scorer. He started off the first 6 games not shooting well, not being into rhythm, but it seems like he's really found a formula on how to punish teams consistently. And I don't know, it's formless. It looks like he can work in the play. Like I'm thinking ahead, but this looks like the formula that can work with the playoffs. Like even I'm looking at his numbers at the rim, from the short mid, from the long mid. All of that is turning around. All those numbers are turning a little bit above average. The only thing that hasn't really been dropping for him is the three. But even the three, even though he's not taking as many threes, is he's still hitting it in certain moments, and I think that's going to rise as well. He's playing out of his mind. He's playing out of his mind. What do you have to say, Ryan G?
Before I get to Julius Randle, I just want to say this. Last night's game against the Lakers was the first time in a while where I've seen the Knicks play Knicks basketball. And when I say that, I mean they slowed the game down. They played in the half court. They passed the ball around, get quality shots. And when you do that, what you do is you limit the possessions in the game. And also what that does is, because you're taking quality shots, that gives your defense a chance to get back. Because what happens sometimes when you take rush shots or quick shots or whatever the case may be, the defense is able to rebound the ball, then get into transition. And a lot of times the Knicks found themselves on the bad end of those situations because the Knicks in transition, they haven't been defending it well.
Proper floor balance.
Exactly. So I saw the Knicks get back to Knicks basketball, slow the game down, slow the pace, play in the half court, get quality shots, get back on defense. And that's the formula that this team needs to follow to win these games. And lately, yeah, the Knicks may, have that one-off game where they score a whole lot of points and able to win. But as the saying goes, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Right.
Sometimes you're going to win games that isn't necessarily your style. But the fact that, the Knicks just got back to what they do best, I think that's why they won this game. And Julius Randle, yeah, he was a beast. I mean, this guy,
man,
I like the fact that he's not taking as many threes and he's going to his bread and butter, which is using his power, using his bully ball tactics to get to the paint, score easy baskets around the rim, take those mid-range jumpers and score the basketball, because that's what he's best at. And because of that, that's why he sees efficiency numbers go up this season, because he's actually doing what he does best. And even some plays, like that one play with D'Angelo Russell where he was driving to the basket and just pushed that man out the way.
Man, I enjoyed that. It was like,
yeah, like this is the Julius Randle I like to see, and I think that this is the Julius Randle that can translate to the playoffs. And overall, it was just a great game by the Knicks, and I'm just glad they got back to what they know. I'm just glad they got back to what they do best, which is slow the pace, quality shots, get back on defense, and just grind out wins, which is what the Knicks are great at.
He looked like a top power forward in the league. Like he looked like a top 3 player in the league. Like he looked dominant, dog. He the power game, like he was mowing over Kawhi Leonard. I know we lost that game, but he was mowing over Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is no weak dude. And not only just the power and the way he's using it kind of controlled. Like his mindset, he was engaged. The only mental lapse I really saw from Randle is when he got hit in the elbows in the lip and he was arguing during the play, which I'm like, it is what it is. I give him a pass. The man got elbowed and didn't get a foul call, so I get it. But like even the presence of mind in the fourth quarter, right? Fourth quarter, game on the line, 25 seconds left. The Lakers shoot a free throw. Knicks only have one timeout. Randle quickly gets the ball, races laterally to out of bounds lines and gives the ball to Brunson, and they race down the presence of mind to inbound the ball that quickly after the made free throws so the defense wouldn't get set, so they didn't have to use their timeout. That's like the type of mental concentration I haven't really seen from Julius Randle consistently through the years he's been here, and he showed that today. And even defensively, he's been good. I mean, maybe not so much towards the fourth quarter, but I'm not like the dude played 40 minutes. The dude played 40 minutes, so like I'm not even gonna harp on that. Once you start playing 40 minutes and you can't muster up the strength to run to LeBron James, I gotta give you a pass. But he impressed me, man. There was a lot of impressive performances. There was a lot of impressive, but he literally looked like one of the top players in the NBA for real. Like he looked like when people were like, "Oh, let's trade for a superstar," and da like it looked like, "Nah, it'll be good. Maybe just get a little." Like it looked like that. And if we can get that Julius Randle, who decisive, uses his power, is engaged in the game, plays defense, man, whoo, sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit for this team.
Facts. And I'm not gonna name certain people, but I went on Knicks Twitter because Knicks Twitter is always some BS. It doesn't matter whether the Knicks win or lose. You're gonna always have somebody on there that's gonna have some type of negative take to take from the game last night. I'm not gonna mention who this person is on Knicks Twitter, but this person actually said, "Then Julius Randle's playing amazing right now. This is when the Knicks need to trade him when his value is high." And without even naming
I already
a
know
person
what
that
it
they
is.
trade Julius Randle for. And I'm just like, way to spin something that's good into a freaking negative. Like, I don't understand some people, but it's just amazing to me. But I just felt like I wanted to say that right quick. Like some people, I just don't get them. Like they always want to take something positive and just spin into something negative just because they don't like the damn player.
Yeah, not for real. Shout out to Julius Caesar. I see you said in the game with James and AD, Julius Randle looked like the best player in the court. He did, yo. He looked like the best player in the court. And it's funny. Anthony Davis looked good too. Anthony Davis had to. He was in the pick and roll with James all night. We was having problems with that, but he looked really good, man. He looked really good. And there was another person that looked really good too. Hartenstein, man. Hartenstein. This is one of my favorite Hartenstein games of the year as well. Rest in peace to Sims' ankles, man. Sorry, shout out to Sims. Sims, man, he got injured within the first second of the game on a jump ball. He tried to play through it. And he ended up being in a walking boot. But because of that, Sims had to play extended minutes today. Last night. I'm sorry. And in his extended minutes, he ended up with a career high 17 rebounds and gave Anthony Davis all he can handle. Now, Anthony Davis, he scored. He scored at will. And he did what he could do. But what I liked about Hartenstein is he fought back. The Knicks ended up winning the rebound battle largely because Hartenstein had 17 rebounds and Randle had 14 rebounds. Our bigs did their thing, man. And we ended up out rebounding the Lakers. What was the number? I think it's 52 to 4. 41 to 32 advantage Knicks. And he just gave us another dimension offensively, too. Like I saw, you don't really see a lot of pocket passes from Jalen Brunson. I've seen Jalen Brunson run some pick and roll with Hartenstein and give him a lot of pocket pass, and then Hartenstein able to hit somebody else off the short roll after the pocket pass. So it was like it gave us a lot of offensive versatility with him in the game. The rebounding was definitely a thing as well. It's Hartenstein, man. And the dive, the play of the game to me was the dive on the floor. I think it was the third or fourth quarter. He dived on the floor and then ended up passing it behind him around another Laker I think Quickley on a fast break and end up scoring on that. Hartenstein, 75% from the field too. Man, plus 15, second highest plus minus on the night. Highest plus minus of the night goes to Julius Randle. Whew. I don't know if you have anything to add. I don't want to say that.
Facts. Before I add to that, I just want to address the chat right quick, especially Knicks are nice, because this is why I call it negative, because those of you who claim that the Knicks need to trade Julius Randle, you never offer a good solution as to who to trade him for. Like who is realistically out there who's going to replace Julius Randle's production. Like sometimes you need to look past you not liking a player and actually think about it logically and be like, okay, who out there realistically you're going to trade Julius Randle for? Who you're going to bring him for him? Who's going to replace his production for the team?
I agree.
That's all I'm trying to say. And a lot of times I just see people saying trade Julius Randle, but they never have a solution. They never have an actual trade that actually makes sense. Where it's like, you know what? Yeah, if the Knicks make that trade, that would make the team better. It's never a solution like that. And it's clearly showing that you have a bias against that player. And it's clearly showing that, okay, just because you don't like the player, you're suggesting trade the player and you don't have nothing logical or actionable to even make it make sense. That's my whole thing behind that.
Yeah.
But all right, but getting back to iHeart. Yeah, this was a game where he needed to have a monster game because you have no Mitch. Sims went down, like you said, beginning of the game, literally, he went down injured. All the Knicks have is iHeart and Taj Gibson at that time. And I'm not even sure if Taj Gibson is even in game shape like that to even play extended minutes. That's what I'm saying. So the fact that iHeart took it upon himself to step up and get a career high 70 rebounds. And then on top of that, like, yeah, you could look at the numbers and be like, Anthony Davis had 32 and 14, I think. That was his numbers for the night. But if you actually watch the game, iHeart played a really good defense.
Yeah.
He actually tried his best to give Anthony Davis hell on the boards and grab rebounds and provide some type of defense. And also the Knicks also had better pick and roll defense as well in this game. That's what I've also noticed as well. The Lakers weren't able to kill the Knicks off the pick and roll like the Clippers did.
Yeah.
And I think the Knicks also did a good job of helping off the pick and roll as well. Their rotations were good. If the Knicks did provide help, the rotations got back in place, and the Lakers weren't able to take advantage of the double teams coming off that pick and roll. And it's just a combination of things. But iHeart's performance was major. Like the Knicks definitely needed him to step up because he was literally the only big the Knicks had. And the fact that he stepped up the way he did was a major contribution to the win.
Nah, for real. He had 2 blocks and 2 steals on the night. So he played well defensively. Also dunked it on AD's face, which I enjoyed as well. But to your point, Brian, the Knicks, it was reported that they had a spirited practice after their last poor defensive performance. And it looked like a lot of the stuff that we were complaining about did get cleaned up. Especially at least for like a lot of the quarters, I did notice the hands are extremely active. The deflection levels were high. I didn't really see a lot of open corner threes like we did in previous games. I will say towards the end of the game though, I started to see more open threes. But I don't know. I think maybe we did a good job of keeping them off balance for those 3-4 quarters that they didn't feel comfortable after that. Cause you know what it is. Like sometimes if you makes a team uncomfortable for a long stretch of time, when they finally do get an open shot, they're not in rhythm. They kind of rushing it a little bit, and they start to miss those open shots now that it's finally open. I felt like we left Torian Prince in particular. I felt like we kind of left him open a little bit towards the end. But I feel like we did a good job containing the 3-pointers within the first few quarters. So overall, defensively, night and day, that's what we need to do to take this team to the next level. We've been scoring in 120s, 130s for the last few games. This game, we didn't even score that. We scored 114. But like Tibbs says, the biggest number, the most important number is that win. We got that W. The defense climbed down, and that's all that matters, man.
And what I'm hoping is that the way they're playing defense right now, I'm just hoping that they're able to carry this over to the next games, especially with Mitch being out, so that when Mitch comes back, that defense is already set. And the defense is going to go up even another notch when Mitch finally does come back into the lineup when he gets healthy.
Exactly, because man, we don't need Mitch to be working that hard. Like, if we play better defense, it helps out Mitch too. We don't want him working so hard. So now I agree. But and there's other things to talk about. Like this, there's certain things I want to talk about Emmanuel Quickley as well. But I want to talk about the lack of hype for a second. We gotta talk about it. And shame on you, Leon Rose. I'm sorry. Shame on you, Leon Rose. Big win. When I looked at this game coming up, I myself was fearful because I knew how big the Lakers are. Like they're a big team, not even just long, like big and like big. And when we come into this game, I was like, "Yo, what are we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna match up? Because there's just too many big people here." And Tibbs was like, "I have a solution. I'm going to play Julius Randle 40 something minutes, so we're always big." So I'm just like, I mean, it worked, but Leon, man, we gotta get bigger guys who can play defense, who can earn some resistance. And even like there was times when RJ had a bad offensive game, mind you, but a really good defensive game. Like there was times when RJ was in the game and he was like guarded against LeBron James, and LeBron just kind of laughed. It was just like spin bucket. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like it was a matchup nightmare. It was a matchup nightmare, but kudos to us, we figured it out. But also, yo, I love Taj Gibson as much as the next man, but Sims is in a walking boot now. We have one legit center, and we ended up signing Taj Gibson as our backup center, who is a power forward. This team is already undersized. Leon, man, why? Why are you signing a power forward when we need a center? This is, I'm glad we won, but now we go into this next Brooklyn game with one real power forward in Julius Randle. I mean, I guess we have two now. I guess we have Taj Gibson now. I guess we got two. I don't know.
Yeah. But is Taj Gibson in game shape yet though to even play extensive minutes? Like, what do we even know?
Still got his Thanksgiving belly. Like, he got to get into shape. We got some issues, man. We still got some issues that we need to like address. I don't know if it's gonna be even addressed during the deadline or in the summer, but we got some issues, man.
Yeah, and I think if you want to point to a negative with what Leon Rose has done for this season, it's the roster construction because, okay, I understand Obi didn't fit into the system that the Knicks were running, so you let him go. But at least if you're going to let Obi go, at least bring in somebody with size, who can guard, the 2, the 3, etc. And yeah, you bring in Dante DiVincenzo, which is, he's been a great addition. I'm not saying that it's a bad addition. It's a good addition. But at the same time, it's like if you're going to let size go, and then you know that with that size being gone, the team is going to be small because at that point you only have Mitch, Ihart, and Randle. Those are the only guys who can really guard 1s and 2s on the team. Then it's like, okay, maybe we need to bring in somebody else that can actually, guard big men. And you go after a guard where it's like, okay, now the team is full of guys who are like 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". And then when we go up against teams who are big like the Lakers, yeah, the Knicks may have won that game, but it's going to cause a whole lot of mismatches.
Yeah.
So
yeah. You know what? I'm starting to think, man. I'm starting to think that I'm starting to feel like Grimes might be moved. I'm starting to feel like Grimes was a trade chip all along, and they're like, you know what? Let's lock in DiVincenzo at a small number, and then we're gonna use Grimes as bait for a big star later when one comes available. Because like that's the only thing that really makes sense to me of why they're doing what they're doing right now. And there's this glut. Like I feel like they're just loading up to trade a Grimes or Emmanuel Quickley, and we'll go to Quickley in a minute after this. And just and we know what we got Dante here for long term locked in at a cheap number that we like. And we might have to pay these guys. We don't want to pay him that because we already have this guy locked in a cheap number. I'm starting to feel more and more like they knew it's an imbalance, but they're planning on getting a long wing and using Grimes in the trade. Like I'm starting to feel like that's what the real play is. And now that move, I'm starting to feel like that Dante move was just the first move, the first domino, and then like the next domino is gonna fall later. Because then it makes sense if you're able to move Grimes in something. If you're able to move Grimes in Fournier or whatever for a long defensive wing, like somebody who does something that Grimes does, but like longer, or, like then it makes sense. Right now, it doesn't make sense. But I don't know. That's a theory.
Yeah, I'm not gonna act like I know who the Knicks should go after or who's available and things of that nature, but especially seeing the Knicks under Leon Rose, typically the Knicks do make a trade deadline move. And I wouldn't be surprised like you said, if like maybe Grimes or Fournier or somebody like that is moved for an actual wing, somebody who's going to provide more size to the team and guard and be able to guard those, bigger wing players or whatever the case may be. The Knicks front office have proven that, when it comes to making changes at the trade deadline that will help improve the team, that they're willing to do that.
Yeah, this would just be the first time, because for that to happen, this would be the first time that it would be a rotation player. I feel like in the past we've moved Cam Reddish, wasn't really in a rotation like that. We've moved Kevin Knox, wasn't really in a rotation like that. We've moved other guys who weren't playing time, but for a move to actually happen to make sense for us right now, a rotation player has to leave and to get like a wing back, because there's already a minutes thing happening right here now that's kind of funky, you know? Yeah. And this brings me to Emmanuel Quickley. See that segue there? Did you guys know this? Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Felicia G, says Nerlens Noel, we need him. We definitely do. I actually feel like maybe we should have called Nerlens instead of Taj, and put some sticky tack on his fingers. So he can catch the ball. No, but you could have rocked that with Nerlens Noel. I don't know, man. I'll take Noel. I'll take Dwight Howard. I'll take Boogie Cousins. Hey, man, we need a big man, man. We need a big man.
Is JaMychal Green still out there?
Is JaMychal Green out? I don't know. JaMychal Green is available?
I don't recall him being signed for a team, but I'm like, I could have missed the news. So I'm like, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I'm definitely not sure either. But I gotta check. But shout out to Julius Caesar, Knicks Nation TV. Shout out to Felicia Lee. Shout out to Chris Alessandor, best mod in the game. Shout out to the Orange Nick Fanatic Show. Shout out to Knicks Are Nice. Shout out to Block 53. Everybody else is rocking with the show. If you love the show, hit that like and subscribe. We usually go live after the games. It's been a real wonky West Coast trip, so we've been doing this next day type of post games. It will go back to normal soon. The Brooklyn game will be going live right after the game, so you can join us right after the game. And I think Lee and Ebony should be joining us after that game as well. So we should have full squad for the Brooklyn beatdown. All right.
Well, not exactly, because I'm traveling that night, so I won't be available.
Which
I'm upset about, which I am upset about, but it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, well, I mean, I guess 3 out of 4 ain't bad, I guess. My bad. But let's get into this Quickley thing, because did you guys in the chat and Ryan G, did you guys notice how weird the minutes thing has been? Usually there's a set type of rotation that Tom Thibodeau likes to do. One thing he definitely changed was he had Randle playing with the second unit. I kind of talked about it a little bit earlier. The lack of size was a fear, I believe, for Tibbs. And he had Randle running with the second unit for that reason. And you notice as soon as Randle went to the bench, that's when he lost the lead. like literally as soon as he went to the bench. We had a 10-point lead, 11-point lead in the second quarter. Then Randle leaves, and then we lost the lead. But also, Emmanuel Quickley, he's a guy who he usually plays around 10 minutes in that first half. But he had extended minutes today. This is the most I've seen him play in a long time. And he deserved it today. He was a flame though. He came out, he hit a big buzzer 3-3. He hit some floaters. He was an offensive force. The defense is always the defense. Quickly balled out today. But I'm keeping an eye on this. I'm keeping an eye on this because Quickley minutes distribution. I'm gonna look at it. Quickley had let's see, 28 minutes today after only averaging 20 minutes a game. And then you're looking at Grimes. Grimes only had 11 minutes, which was understandable. Like Grimes played well, but he didn't shoot well. And this is a game we need to shoot well. And Dante DiVincenzo, he shot well. It was 3 of 5 from 3, 60%. But he only had 19 minutes this game. But Emmanuel Quickley, he played 28 minutes. So I'm looking at this moving forward. I'm definitely looking at this moving forward. I know re-signing Emmanuel Quickley is a storyline for us. And I don't know if we're going to keep him or not. I definitely would love to keep him, but part of making him happy or keeping him happy is at least giving him 20-something minutes a game. Over 25 minutes a game might keep him happy, at least if he decides to stay here. You know what I mean? But big game guy Quickley. I'm looking at these minutes going forward. It could be a game changer. I don't know. What do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, I think with the minutes distribution is always going to be a conundrum for the Knicks because I think a lot of time it just depends on who's balling at the time. And Quickley was balling today, so he definitely deserved the bulk of the minutes in the backcourt because the Knicks needed scoring and Quickley was providing that. Grimes wasn't shooting the ball well. Dante DiVincenzo was playing well, but I think Quickley was playing better than him. So you keep Quickley out there. Then Josh Hart as well, but Josh Hart is always going to be, between like probably Barrett's minutes and like Hart more competes with Barrett's minutes, and Barrett was playing better than Hart, so that's why I saw Hart on the bench and Barrett was out there more, especially on the defensive end. Even though he could go either or, Josh Hart's probably a better defender, but Barrett, I guess, was providing a bit more due to size. But yeah, Quickley definitely deserved his minutes tonight. He played well, shot the ball well, and yeah, I mean pretty much. But the minutes distribution is always going to be a toss up because I think it's just going to depend on who's playing well and who got the rhythm in that game, and I guess and more than likely Thibs goes with the guy that has more rhythm going into the fourth quarter than rather than sticking to like this guy is always going to play fourth quarter minutes over this guy, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that is true, but it seemed like for Quickley it hasn't been as true, which is why I'm highlighting this right now. There was a game where he shot, I think like 6 or 7 in the first half, and he ended up not seeing any more minutes, and we were like, why isn't he back in the game? Now, I think it was a size issue. I feel like they was just afraid of the size thing was gonna be an issue. But I mean, the Lakers team was a big team today, and he decided to do it. So I don't know what the difference was today. Spirit moved him today and Quickley delivered.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It worked out today. It definitely worked out today. But I liked what Quickley brought today. He was an assassin. That long three was something much needed. The only thing is that corner three is so weird for him, man. I mentioned before in this program, he's been shooting 17% from the corner three. 17%. And he always finds himself wide open in that corner. Always finds himself wide open in that corner. And he's missed a couple of those today. I mean, last night. But, man, great game by Quickley. And salute to Jay Boogie, man. He says, shout out to the chat and KOT men. Men lie. Women lie. Numbers don't. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle got all-star numbers. All-star voting starts tonight. Vote, please. Breaking news, the remix on all platforms. I hear you. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think that was the most exciting thing about this game. Shoot, I didn't even show. Shoot. Shout out to my guy Alex to help me with the two-headed monster. I was so excited. I was so excited about this win, and I know this is not the end. I know we still have work to do. I know this team still is not exactly a finished product. But with the way Jalen Brunson's been playing, he's been playing at a superstar level to me. The three-point shooting has been ridiculous. It really doesn't matter who you put on him. Ebony said it the best. Only person who can stop Jalen Brunson is himself. Everybody, like people been talking. This is why in the beginning of the season, when shout out to my guy Lee, that's always gonna be my guy. But when Lee was saying, man, they figured it out. Put a long guy on Jalen Brunson, and he's gonna have trouble. He can't be stopped. I'm like, yo, Lee, we went through this last season. They've been putting long people on Jalen Brunson since the middle of the season last season, and by like January, he figured it out. By January, he was cooking everybody. So I'm like, it's Brunson. It's not no defense. It's Brunson. When he figures out how to do it, he's gonna do it. They had Vanderbilt on him. That boy long. Pause. He shot all over. He shot over him like it's nothing. He footwork Cam Reddish to death. And he ended up with 29 points, 4 rebounds, and a block. And the thing about Jalen Brunson that I liked about this game is I love Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson, right? Future Hall of Famer. In my eyes, should have been an all-star game last year. All NBA caliber guy. Love the man to death. This dude has been breaking clutch free throws ever since he's been here. So when the game was on the line and he was able to make all of his free throws, I was just like, oh God. I was thankful. I was thankful, but I'm excited. I'm excited that Jalen Brunson is playing at the level he is, and also excited that freaking Julius Randle, to me, at this moment, is playing the best basketball of his career, I think. Comparable to that COVID year when we made the playoffs. The only thing that's missing is the 3-point shot. But I don't know, man. I feel like the level scorer, I feel like he's like 3-4 level scoring right now. Like and like the mental space right now. I just, at least offensively, if we can get consistent defensively with Julius Randle, then we'll really be out of here. But offensively, he's figured something out. And this can be a 1-2 punch, real for real, where we're not super pressed to look for a third star if this is the level they're gonna play at every night. We gotta find those ancillary pieces and we'll be all right. That's just me.
I mean, you can't deny that with the way both Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are playing. And I think besides one of the keys being the Knicks having that consistent third scorer, I think another key was, Julius Randle playing more controlled and and just becoming more efficient when he's, trying to score the block, and he's showing that this season. So if Julius Randle takes that next step, which it seems like he has taken with the way this season is going so far for him, and this continues into the playoffs, yeah, it might be a case of the Knicks trying to surround both Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle with the right pieces and seeing how far they can take this team. Maybe getting that superstar player is not necessarily needed, but at this moment, despite the fact that both players are playing well, I still think the Knicks need that one last star to complete the puzzle. But I'm glad with what I'm seeing from Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson this season. I just pray that it continues.
Yeah, like to me, it's about the shooting. Like when we really hit through, I feel like when we hit threes, we're unstoppable. When Jalen Brunson starts to hit threes, we're really unstoppable. That's why I'm really curious to see what we do with the Bucks, because I felt like defensively we let go of the rope in the Bucks game, but also Brunson wasn't hitting threes that game like he was before. I think if he starts to hit threes and Julius Randle's playing the way he's playing right now, it's a whole different ball game. So I'm really curious to see how the Knicks play them. But also I still feel like we still need that wing so we can compete and guard bigger players. I don't know who that wing might be. Pipe Dream still might be OG on Nobi. I was watching Raw's program the other day, and he was selling me on the dream, man. Oh, he was selling me on the dream. I want to believe it. I don't know if it's. I don't know. I want to believe it, but he was talking about Mikal Bridges. He was talking about it. I was just like, the Brooklyn would never trade Mikal Bridges. He was like, I don't know. He he was like, well, they traded James Harden to the 76ers. I was like, this is New York. No, this is New York. But
yeah, and I think even if the Knicks were to inquire about Mikal Bridges, the Nets are gonna want the farm for him. I don't think the Nets are going to make that trade a quote unquote fair one for the Knicks.
What is the farm?
At least I don't believe so.
What is the farm? 3 picks? 3 picks in IQ?
Probably 3 unprotected. I gotta look at Mikal Bridges' salary to really put the numbers together, but I can't see the Nets being like, yeah, we're gonna make this trade fair for you. We're just gonna give you Mikal Bridges for chump change. Like I do see the Nets trying to raise the price on the Knicks just for the
Knicks
simple
tax.
fact that inner city rival.
I might do 3. If it's 4, that's a lot. 4 is definitely a lot. Jeez. 4 is a lot, man. They gotta be protections on that joint. And if it's 4, it's gonna be like a freaking Wizards pick. I don't know. It's gonna be you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be our own. It's not gonna be our own. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not gonna be all our own. That's how I see it, but like a legit 3-point sniper who can lock somebody up and even make a little himself, play with the second. Yeah. That'd be nice. But I know I have to see if this is real. I have to see if this bully bro version of Randle is real, but it looks really good. It's really good right now. All right, cool. All right. Thank you. If you enjoyed the show, hit that like and subscribe. Thank you for the super chat. So super chats help keep the lights on, help pay for all the stuff. So thank you guys for super chats. It definitely helps us keep things out of my pocket. All right, cool. All right, so let's get to it. No, I know right now it is time for the bruh picks. For those guys who've never been here before, bruh picks are usually the worst plays of the week. It can be basketball related plays. It doesn't have to be talk about basketball, right? It could just be anything stupid, anything dumb that happened that you want to point out. And usually Ryan G does a great job of doing that. So Ryan G, man, what you got, man? What you looking at?
First bro pick. The way this dude's season is going so far, I feel like he's gonna have a bro pick every other week. Jordan Poole.
Man.
Against the Suns, my guy was dribbling.
Oh, come on.
My man was dribbling. He was at the 3-point line, my man just slipped out of nowhere. Just slipped.
I feel bad.
Over the ball. And what's crazy is that somebody made like a little video clip, like a graphic or something on Instagram, and literally they had Jordan Poole coming up the court and they had the ghost of Draymond Green, and the ghost of Draymond Green threw a punch, and then that's when Jordan Poole slipped on the floor and turned over the ball. Saying that the ghost of Draymond Green was Jordan Poole on that play.
Damn. Yo, I seen that. Yo, I seen the video. I'm trying to find it. And I can't find it. I can't find it. I seen that one, and I seen the other one when homie tried to bank a 3-pointer in with 20 seconds left. Yeah, I saw that one too. That wasn't too nice. But yeah, Jordan Poole, man. He needs some structure though. He has a lot of talent, but he needs a lot of structure. I don't know if his mindset is ready for the NBA though. Go ahead, man.
For real. And my other broad pick goes to Joel Embiid because who the Sixers were playing again? I think it was the Bulls. So basically what happened on this play was my man Joel Embiid was 1-on-1 against Vucevic. He faked him out, drove right by him. Vucevic just gave him a light shove. I bet he barely even touched him. He just gave him a light shove. My man Embiid did the ill flop job. My man was fumbling on the floor, threw the ball up, and literally landed in the out of bounds section. And my man Vucevic touched him at the free throw line, and my man's all the way out of bounds, fumbling, rumbling, stumbling.
Bruh. Yo, I love Joel Embiid's game, but that actually like the most annoying part of his game is he is a freaking flop merchant, dog. The way he flops and flails his arm for a dude who's like 300 pounds and 7'2" is ridiculous sometimes. Sometimes I just want to tell him to stop it. And if he was on my team, it would be less annoying, I guess. But he's not, so it's mad annoying watching that bull, yo. Like he too big to be flopping like that. That's just the way I see it.
Facts.
That's just the way I see it. But yo, salute to Silk. So also the Discord, the Discord is open if you want to say anything. Otherwise, we can wrap the show up. But the Discord link, is there a Discord pin to the chat? Did I pin it? I don't know if I pinned it.
I don't see it pinned.
My bad. There is the Discord link. I just put the Discord link in the chat for you guys who want to. If you want to talk Knicks basketball with us, you can just hit that Discord link and talk ball. If not, we just end the show. It was a good show. It was a good show. Shout out to Six Sultan who sends a $4.99 super chat. He says Jay Ellis, Spider, Brunson, and Randle will all be free agents next year. I'll see a big 3 signing. Things that make you go, Yeah, I'm not even gonna hold you, man. I know it's not a popular opinion. I understand it. I know my opinion is not popular. But personally, I don't like small guard lineups, man. I don't like. So I know I remember Scott Perry came out and said that he felt like Donovan Mitchell was a great guy, a great scorer, but he's not that force. And defensively, I just feel like putting him and Brunson next to each other defensively could really hinder us long term. I've only, like I said this on the program before, the only time I've really seen something like that kind of work where they want to chip was the Toronto Raptors when they had Kyle Lowry and my brain's Fred VanVleet. Yeah. With Kawhi Leonard, one of the best defensive threes in the league. So maybe if we had like the best defensive 3 in the league, it could work. But I'm hesitant to do a Spider Brunson kind of pairing. Offensively, it should be fun. It'd definitely be fun. But I still feel like there would be a ceiling. I feel like we'd be like almost like a bootleg version of Dallas. I don't know.
Yeah, I think, and it's basically what I said. If the Knicks are going to go that small guard route, they're going to have to revamp that whole front line because, yeah, like you said, they had Kawhi, they had Siakam, which is also another dude that's long and lanky paws, and I'm trying to think who's the big on that team. I'm trying to recall. Who's the big on that Toronto team?
On the Toronto, I feel like they had like a stretch 5, right? I think was it Bismack? No, it wasn't Bismack. It was a stretch 5.
I'm about to look that up right
My
quick.
mind is going blank, but it was a stretch 5. I feel like it was a stretch 5. No, not Pirtle. He's talking about the year, not Pirtle Knicks Nation. He's talking about the year that the Raptors were was won the chip. Gasol. Thank you, Caesar. Gasol.
Yeah, Gasol. Yeah.
Gasol.
Yes, I mean you have a front line of Gasol, Kawhi, and Siakam. It's like, you could probably get away with 2 small guards because those 3 guys are pretty good defensively up front, especially Kawhi, who can lock down pretty much any position. So
Yeah,
if the Knicks want to go that route, they got to really revamp their front line.
yeah. And it's like Randle. It's funny because Randle has all the tools to be a really good defender. Tibbs just has to get it out of him, man. Like Tibbs has to stay on him so he can be that. And I don't know, maybe he could be that if there's more offensive firepower here. I don't know. But Tibbs would have to, lay into Randle. I'm not sure. Like, I loved what I saw versus the Lakers. If we see more of that and the defense, then maybe it could work. I saw somebody talking about DeRozan. Don't worry, DeRozan's on the way. You know what the thing with it is, DeRozan too? And I was thinking about this too. If the Knicks do indeed get DeRozan, might be controversial to say, I think RJ would have to go to the bench. Like to me, for that to work, RJ comes off the bench. You get a true defensive wing to like they'll have. I still feel like there has to be maybe another move where you still get like a true defensive wing next to them who's going to be a high level defender. Then maybe it can work. That's the way my brain is working. Because to me, the Brunson, RJ, DeRozan, Randle thing, I feel like it's too much. Kind of like how when the Clippers got hard and they didn't work until Russell came to the bench, I kind of feel like it might be something similar. I don't know. That's just me. Like, it's not my favorite move to get DeRozan. Offensively would be good. Defensively, I still think there's issues. But if you're still able to get a defensive guy next to them, then maybe it could work. But I'm not sure if the Knicks are thinking the way I am. But that's the way I'm thinking.
Yeah, and DeRozan not necessarily on the top of my list anyway, because I think the Knicks need somebody who can actually shoot the three and defend multiple wing positions. And DeRozan's a great player, don't get me wrong. He's just not a need for the Knicks.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? DeRozan does hit the corner three. I forgot his stats. I think he's like 90-something percentile in the corner three. So I mean, if he plays the RJ role, you see how RJ gets a lot of open corner threes. So if he plays the RJ role, it might work offensively for us. If he plays the RJ role. Defensively still is the biggest issue. I still feel like we still need a big defender next to them to make that really work because he's not such a defender. That's the way I see it. Stafford says DeAndre Hunter. Yeah, we talked about DeAndre Hunter. I'll be okay with that. I know he's not. Him is just injury stuff, but like that type of player, I'm cool with that archetype.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I would definitely rock with the Hawks as well. I just don't know if the Hawks are willing to actually part with them. That's the only thing.
Yeah. Do the Hawks hate us? I don't know. There's a rivalry thing. I mean, they traded Can to us, so maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not like maybe it's not like the Toronto situation.
It's not that bad. It's just that I know they have Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, and guys like that still there. So I don't know if they've gotten to the point where it's like, you know what, we need to change our roster around because it's not working out at the moment, or if they're just trying to like still feel it out and be like, you know what,
yeah,
let's see, if this team can improve and stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, DeAndre Hunter would be nice. I just don't know if the Hawks are at that point where they're just trying to dismantle their team. I just don't know if they're
at
there yet.
Yeah, I'm looking at the people who look like about to blow everything up is the Pistons, the Wizards, Utah, but Danny Ainge's the devil.
Pretty much.
I don't know what Toronto. You're hoping that they lost Fred VanVleet for nothing, and because they lost him for nothing, that they are going to be smarter about trying to move the pieces they have and maybe shake loose OG. But those are the guys who I can definitely see moving on for something at the deadline. But yeah, those are my top teams. And then there's all the guys who who has 1 year left in the deal. You gotta take a look at those as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Knicks Nation says DeRozan hit 37% from threes. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not as bad as it usually was. And then, let me just actually look up the DeRozan numbers. Because I don't know his volume though. Like I don't know how much volume he shoots from three.
Yeah. That's another question too. Like how many threes does he attempt per game?
Right. I just know he shot a good amount from the corner three this year, like a high percentage. And that's true. That's all you need. All you need. If you can hit that corner three and space the floor out for Randle and those guys, that's all you need.
Well, he takes 2.6 3-pointers a game.
So that's
So 2 to 3 3-pointers a game.
So it's not that volume is pretty low. Tips is definitely going to want him to shoot more. That's been a thing he's been preaching for the Knicks. It's just why you see the uptick in threes from Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, and just for comparison, like RJ Barrett, which would be the guy I think he would be replacing in the lineup. RJ Barrett's attempting 5.1 threes a game.
Yeah.
So it's like he's averaging pretty much almost 3 more threes per game than what DeRozan takes at the moment.
Yeah, that's still the thing. Is like they still operate in that same area. They still all operate in that. Like Randle has found success really operating in that low mid range area. Like he's completely flipped this game around. So that is still an issue. Like they both like to be in the same area. Offensive overview. Let's see. Shooting accuracy. So DeMar DeRozan. Let me see if I can share my screen for you guys to see this. I'm doing this on the fly. I was not even planning on doing this. But since y'all talking. DeMar DeRozan, corner three. He shoots 38% from the corner three, which is pretty good. Well, 38% from all three, which is pretty good. Corner three, 39%. Okay. His 3-point shooting this year has actually been pretty good. Oh, I remember talking about this. His mid-range is going down. This is the lowest he shot from the mid-range his whole career.
Yeah, I was saying, that's actually kind of surprising looking at it because I'm like, he's usually a good mid-range shooter. That's his bread and butter.
Yeah. Maybe I'll move this down so you can see. But yeah, he's not shooting well from the mid-range this year. He's shooting good at the rim, but they have a stretch five there. So like these numbers at the rim could be deceiving. Like for them, like Brunson had shot really high from the rim before he got here. That's because they had stretch fives. He got here, that the at the rim numbers for Brunson dropped because we have Mitch here. So, but yeah, he's shooting a 39th percentile along mid. Like these things are weird though because you don't know if this is because of an age where age is catching up to him, or is it because Chicago? Sometimes when your team is a dumpster fire, you don't you're not on your game. You know what I mean? So you don't know what this is. This could be either or. This could be the pressures of Chicago weighing down on him, or this could be sign of decline. I don't know. It could be either one of those. It could be either one of those. It'll be interesting. But yeah. I want to see. Oh wait, before I get out of this, I just want to see the frequency, real quick. So yeah, like you said, he hardly takes any threes. He takes 3%, 13% of his shots are threes.
Yeah.
So doesn't take a lot. Tibbs will want him to take more for sure.
It's actually kind of concerning that he mainly takes mid-range shots, but yet this season he's not hitting them as often as he normally does.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting.
It is interesting and a little bit concerning. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, shoot. For those of you who don't know, guys who are watching, we have a big guest coming in January. I'll let you guys know now before I even put the APB out. We do have Mike Scotto, Hoops Hype, will be joining the program in January to talk about all the free agency news and rumors and things like that. So definitely stay tuned for on the KOT show for Nike, for Mike. And yeah. So thank you guys. Thank Mike for rocking with us. But definitely stay tuned for that. All right. So you get all these little questions out. And when the rumors heat up, Mike will heat up and we'll ask him all the hard hitting questions. All right. So shout out to Mike. And yeah, man. I got nothing else to talk about. Good show. I don't know if anybody else. I haven't seen any other free agent names mentioned so far. So we can move it on.
No, not really. Looking at the chat.
We can move it on. All right. Cool. That is the show. Shout out to people. Shout out to Coach Sire 617. I see you. Shout out to Dwayne Freddie Hubbard. I see you. Felicia Lee. Been a long time, Felicia. Good to see you too. Stefan Adon. Thank you guys for watching. Hit that like and subscribe for you. And we're here after every game. Usually. This is a weird West Coast trip. So because we all value sleep and work, we got jobs and all that stuff, we decided to do the post game of the next day. But usually we'll be doing it after every game. So next post game will be directly after the Nets game. So definitely check us out then. All right. Cool. Ryan G, man. Great show, guy. Great show, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Yo, man, I still forgot to. Man, the game. Yo, I forgot. I wanted to point this out. More Julius Randle props. I was shocked. Big play of the game. We were up 4 with like 4 minutes to go or something like that. Tips calls an out of timeout play that I did not see coming. He had Jalen Brunson run from one corner of the 3-point line to the middle of the floor to set a screen on Anthony Davis for Julius Randle to pop out, catch the ball, and then like set his feet, hop behind the 3-point line, and shoot a 3 to put the Knicks up 7. Oh, I was like, what? I was like, what did I just? I was like, what did I just watch? The Tibbs just said, you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? Let's have Jalen Brunson set a screen on the biggest. You don't really, that's crazy. You really set a screen on Davis and it worked. I was shocked. That went in too. But man, because Rand looked tired at that point. He played 42 minutes? I'm like, get the ball to Brunson. He's a closer. I was wrong. My bad. You got that, bro. All right. But yeah, that's all I had to say. That's all. All right, that's the show, man. Thank you guys for watching. Ryan G, man, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is Chillin'.
Sir G is chillin'.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN.
That's right. You can find us at the KOT show on Twitter, the Knick of Time show on Instagram, and the Knick of Time show on Facebook as well. Great show, guys. Thank you for all the super chats. We'll be back. Post game, we'll be back against Brooklyn on tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So I hope you guys see you there right after the game. All right. That is our show. Thank you guys for watching. And as always,
shout out the worldwide west. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
It's a mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's the show. We out this mug.
Peace.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.